Gonna do the dishes.
Who signed the blueprint of the stars? Who wired the dark with silver sparks?
Lumber of the ocean's deep, electric hands where lightning sleep, carpenter of bone and bread, clockwork ticking life and death.
We're all doctors of our trade, patch the cracks the system made, hammer home. Spiral turns in a tin whistle sky.
I have to do the dishes. First.
Spiral turns in a tin whistle sky. River hums where the questions lie. Who signed the blueprint of the stars? Who wired the dark with silver sparks?
Lumber of the ocean's deep, electric hands where lightning sleep, carpenter of bone and bread, clockwork ticking life and death.
We're all doctors of our trade, patch the cracks the system made, hammer home in broken beams,
The Akashic Record.
stitch the fabric of our dreams.
Who built the wheel we're spinning on? Who sets the dust? Who breaks the dawn? If every mind's a medicine, then who prescribes the world we're in? We're in labor, rolling down the line, stamped and sorted by design, marking bells and shipping cries, numbers where the spirit hides. But the fiddle sings what ledgers can tell you, and heartache merchandise. Spin that wheel of Arctic ice, diagnose the grand divide. Society's a factory floor, ideas boxed behind the door. value tagged in sweat and time, profit dressed in marching rhyme.
Yet in the forge of flesh and bone, each soul builds a throne unknown. Doctor, welder, streetlight guide, universe working from inside.
Circle starts from center flame. Half step out, it shifts its name from 30 days to 29. Time bends back along the line. Are we cargo?
Are we seed?
Are we harvest?
Are we need? If the market is the test, then conscience is the stethoscope thread.
We're in labor, but not for sale. More than freeze on a cosmic rail. Doctors in a woven plan, healing more than profit can. Raise the bow and let it cry. Wire the earth and tune the sky. Spin that wheel, understand. We are the builders of the
Build the universe.
Maybe hands like yours and mine.
Maybe every trait divine.
We just
Hold on, what's up? Get this nigga out of here. Get him
That's what
out
I'm
of here. Who
saying.
that?
Yo,
Who
Emmer,
that?
get him out of Yo, bro, dip. Yo, Emmer Pans, bro, dip. No one gives a fuck about your drawings, fam. Come on.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
Yo, get out of here, Mr.
Come on,
Tack.
Chief,
Tack
fam, get out. Get out the battle, fam. Oh my god, you're too much, bro.
Yo, follow me, yo.
Yeah. Here, I'll follow you and then I'll leave and I'll invite you.
Bad.
Alright.
For all things a season, a time set in heaven, a purpose for all neath the sun's endless heaven, a time to be born and a time to decay, to plant in spring and to pluck it away.
A time to bring death and a time to restore, to tear down old walls and to build evermore, to weep in the shadows, to laugh in the light, to mourn in the dark and to dance in the bright. All has its sign in God's endless design. Beautiful moments like stars they align. Eternity's calling, the hearts He has sown. Let God's voice remain to our souls
A time to cast stones and to gather
name to our souls from our toil, from the tasks we're assigned. God's burden to man in his seasons entwined. He makes all things fair.
For oil, they went on the cross.
Stand forever secure.
The analog moon is taken away by the snail in Jacob's house. Upon the star. 3, 3, 3. All threes. What is 8 is 5. What is 8 is 5. When you bring the two together, what is 8 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 8 is 5. You bring the two bases together. When you join the two bases, you do not need 3 sticks. You need 7 sticks and 3 sticks and 7 sticks. Equals to 17 sticks. But the first base must sit on 3 sticks, and the next base must sit on the same 3 sticks. But the next base, while the first base already has the 3 sticks, I only need the 7 sticks. 170 AG plugging into the gold. But don't stop. Everybody has a thought in the shower. Minis and maxis. You know, you have letters in the alphabet like G and P and T, with the E sound is after, and then you have the S sound, or the M sound, or the N sound. But yet in all of science, everybody's being swallowed up because they see linear numbers, or they connect them in a round, but they do see that there's triangular numbers, and we know that the elements run by 4. In Asia, they run by 5s. But they also run the Japanese, Asian, out there in pixels. I know I've seen it online in the ornament page. In the ornament page, they block out certain items from the Asian Pacific. AP. A through P, 1 through 16, 136, ABC. So the continuation in the end ends at 16. And at 17, everything changes. 7 is not like any number, right? And 5 is what hooks the 7 through 6. The dog comes into the house. The falcon has not fallen but rises. Five. Look at this double flex capacitor. Look at the fold, 72 degrees in 5. The fox and the wolf, 111. Fox equals to 45, wolf equals to 56. It's a passageway between the fox and the wolf. And when they say wolf, they can say wolves. So when you say 5, you can say 5s or you can say 5ths. So they go the 5ths, they add the F in exchange for the V, because we live in the house of Bet-Vet, the B and the V, the 11 by 222, which is a 5.511 times, it's a 5 1/4 times 2. Did I get that right? Anyways, I'm skipping that out. And here's the big bad wolf. He's got the Corvette for the eyes, the nose, right? Everything splits on the nose. You see that? It funnels in, through, and out through the 2 eyes. Right? It's the IT system we live in. It's the alchemic IT system. So I built my calendar. Stocky legs. Communication 104. The communication is high. It's the high communication. So what is that? It's 8 and it's 9 coming together. Awake during the day You crisscross over when you lie between, when you go to sleep at night. This is number 89. 8 and 9 is 17. This over here is going to create this, okay, with 7. 17, right? I add the 7 to this. I change the 0 for the 7. Then I change the 0 for an 8. Then I change the 0 for a 9. But why are they using the 0? There must be a reason to use the 0. There must be a reason for the 10-4 as well.
Every breath I'm you. Now drift on this soft song, slow breathing, steady and deep. My daughter, my sweet one, I'm watching while you sleep.
Here's a rough draft of your song, blending your thoughts into a rhythmic and lyrical form. Woo! What do I want to know?
Tick, tick,
Tock, the clock never stops, telling me to send hearts,
telling me to drop,
telling me to share,
telling
telling me to sign. Every word checked
back
like
up in my mind. It came in my mind. So is my father still in my mind? If he came in my mother, he came in my mind. He has never left.
But does it repeat? Or are we just numbers marching to the beat? What do I want to know? Who's pulling the strings? Is it the church, the state, or the kings? Are we just cogs in a system so grand? Or architects shaping the lay of the land? 3 by 3 time turns in its dance. Zodiac shift, is it fate or just chance? The chicken lays eggs, the cycle repeats. Numbers and patterns beneath all our feet. Am I old or just wide awake? Are my thoughts too deep or is this all fake? I've heard stories, I've seen the signs, but tell me, have you opened your mind? What do I want to know? Who's pulling the strings? Is it the church, the state, or the kings? Are we just cogs in a system so grand? Or architects shaping the lay of the land?
Hi, I'm Mr. Topaz, here to explore anomalies, questions, and so much more.
So tell me now what's on your mind. Let's write the song of the undefined. Now for the visual representation, I'll generate an image reflecting these themes, questions, anomalies, time, control, and cycles. Stay tuned.
So, yes, I wanted to move my books over. How's everybody doing? Good afternoon. They call it Sunday today. I just know it's today. I don't know about Sunday if that's the name they want to give it. You know, I'm not going to be prejudiced over what somebody else chooses to call it. You call it what you want. You know, you do what you want, you call it what you want. But please, please, keep your voice down. There are others in the room, right? And don't walk too fast. If you walk too fast, you might get in somebody else's way. What is the flow of the crowd? If you were the only one in the room but you needed help, you'd call another one of you. It'd be only you and you would be in the room with yourself. And you tell yourself, pay attention, but you don't pay attention, but it's only you. You're directing all of you, all of the time. But you kept getting in your own way. So you have to come up with some sort of program for yourself, you know, so you don't interfere with yourself. So you can get things done, because apparently when I go down for the passing, I go down 6 feet. Well, I only have one here and one here. I got 5 and 5 is 10. Hello, Leo. How you doing, Leo? I got 2 Leos over here. I wonder what the Leo in between is doing. You see, the thing is about Leo and Leo, it's got 1 Leo here. Here is a 9 Leo. This is a 6-3 Leo. Would you think this is a 2-4 Leo? 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 gives me 6 and 8, breaking the 7th gate, where the 9 can come into the heavens, and then I can take a dump, and I can be the king sitting on the throne with all my friends. Look at the flow. I got the sink, I got the toilet, I got the shower. How much more water? Is that not the Trinity? With the sink, I wash my hands. Well, over here, I ain't washing too much, but I get the dump out and then go over here for the washings, you know? They call this some kind of Becco steel. I don't know what it is. Look at that. They even got Jesus hanging over here. Look at that. That big loop. What is that loop? Right? Is the V the difference? Because a V, you know what happens with a V, eh? You know what happens with a V? It's like when you take your garden hose and you squeeze it and the water don't flow. But with the U, you know, it keeps going by the wool, the electricity in the wool. Whoop. Hey, get off. Hey, boy, don't look at that one. You know, that's like porn on the wall, you know? So this shower curtain, I did it 2016 by the company called Cow. The company was taken off the market. And it's called Give Me the Money. And this is DT for Donald Trump in 2015. I did a couple of videos in that presidency. It was supposed to be the 45th presidency. In fact, the 45th presidency is a reflection of the presidency of the 23rd presidency, in which reflects what is Grover Cleveland coming in 22nd and 24. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 is 4 and 4. Now 24 is 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 creates the separation of the gate. This is where we are because 23 and 23 is what is between Grover Cleveland and, 45 and 47 is 92. The fox in time, that's what it represents. The 92nd day when the fool came to town on the tetrahedron, right? The orange sun. Where do I get this information? The 720, okay? Let's go slow. Tetrahedron, 720. Let's see if I can get this in order. It's inside the high heavens, where it brings the Q gate together. Why the association of high is 9 and 8, 17. The reverse of 9 and 8 is 1 and 2, where 9 and 1 and 2 and 8 created 10, 10. 2 is single digit, it becomes one area encompass space, separating. The 2 separates and shows dimension to both sides of what's 0, that when you split 0 in half, it becomes half and half. A half and half in dictation to what is 360 becomes 180, or the letter R, or 3 by 6, for 180, or 18. Times 10. The cycling of 1 and 8 run the same. It's 10. 8 goes to 80. 8 plus 0 is 8. 1 goes 10 times over to 10, and then you have 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 and 8. We have Aries in the head of Scorpio. But the association to what is 18 as that number, and unlike what is 81, is that ABCD, 1, 2, 3, 4, is the 10. ABCD is the tetrahedron on the 3 sides, and then the base 4 that brings it all together, the 40, 60 on the clock. 1.5 times 4 equals to the 6, just like 1.5 times 12 equals to the 18. The letter L12, the letter 18 high, the right and the left of the 147, the 7 months, the 4 month, and the 1 month of formation at the heart of the matter. Why orange? Orange is made up, okay, of red and yellow. Red is 27, yellow is 92. You remember that 27 and 92? Well, the 92 is a 45 and 47 for 92. But it's not only that, but 4 and 4 in Pythagorean, counting up in the single digit area space, that 47 and 40, and let's do this, hold on a second. That we have 47 and we have 45, right? And I spoke before we had 22 and 24. Well, what goes in between 23 and 46? This is where the split comes in. It also splits the alphabet between C and D. I back up everything I say. It's already been created before by somebody else. It's already an algorithm that we're running by right now. You can find it in the deck of cards in every single casino around the world online right now. Whatever I talk about can be found right now. Every geometric shape, every angle, every letter in the alphabet exists right now. So if I make an error and you see something that doesn't exist or that you don't know, I believe we have a difference. And if we have a difference, we have to find the reason why we have that difference. Because I believe if you understand every word I speak, then you know the entire alphabet by heart. Perhaps you don't know the numerics that go behind each letter, and which gives the dimension of that letter itself. And depending on where it's placed in the word, and how many letters in that word, and the association of the letters in the word, and what the dimension of those numbers are, gives the dimension of the alphabet, the letter itself. That's what I do. I don't know the Bible, but I know all of the Bible. I don't know the word, but I know all of the word. And I know none of the word. But if you ask me the question, I can sew it together. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. You know what I'm saying? You want to put on the music, the Doors, the Beatles? Does it matter? They're all words. Every word is telling a story. The music is nice. It's a good beat. They say the stars dance. When you read it as Scrabble, it says deacon. The deacon can have the dance. D is 500. The E-world connect of A, B, C, D of after the D and before the C. Communication inside the house of Abraham, Isaac, Ishmael. Jacob rises. Jacob, Israel. Passing through the moon, connecting the gateway between 6-1 and 6. Our first connect is 66, the feminine. Communication. 81 is the total of the two. 9 by 9 is 81. 81 minutes on the clock is an hour, and 21 minutes, which is 81. But if you don't see the two dots, it's 121. So what is 9 is 11. The highest number you can get in the lowest house is an 8. The 9 is in the mutable. It's fire. It's Scorpio over Aries, the minimum and the maximum. At the heart of Scorpio is Aries. But in default and understanding of the association of what is Aries is the association of A, B, C, and the platform of D or D, bringing on the platform of C. And when you create D over C, here is the D, and then I put the C over here. And here's what looks like your ace 11, Aquarius standing at the top, that when you play blackjack, that ace is 11 and it overrides every single 10. And the first time you get 11 is 2 and 9, 11. This is a number science, and I want to see what the numbers do. Because if I can't understand the numbers, how can I understand the words? Who put A first, and what was the reason A went first? You know, what was the reason that they created this? That's a 5, and that stands for the Aries of the two sides of what I am. 4, 5, and 6 in representation of Saturn square. Dots and dashes brings it all together. Understanding the formation of area space on graph paper and angles. Call it sigma for the signal testing systems. To do what they call, I think it's to do diametrics, right? Where they splice everything up again. I like to call that sigma, signal testing system. So what is the S letter? Do you know if you split the S and you look at it in artwork, you'll actually create the R, the yin and the yang inside the circle. If you take a good look at it, once it's split with the $sign, you create 2 R's. Anyways, it's a what you said, I said, and they said, so let's not include that reality right now. Is this coffee ready or is it here? It's not hot. I think I'm gonna put on the stove. Hold on a second. Oh, I have to plug it in. You have to plug in the stove to warm the coffee. Because, oh, there it is. Yeah, I like to keep everything unplugged. Is it a superstition? I say you can't blame anything on me. That's what I say, you know. It's my little extra insurance. That's what it is. See that? So put that over here. It's my insurance. Okay, now I gotta go turn on the electricity. Just give me a second over here. Put that electricity on. There you go. You know what? I put on the electricity, right? You know what's really weird? You should check this out. See, it says stove. It says stove. Right? But the guy wrote Steve. Is it Adam and Eve or was it Steve? Is the house of Eve split? Listen to this. If you put the ST in front of Eve, the ST stands for first and last. So is last to the left? Is last to the right? Or would last be at the tail end? Would that not be last at the tail end? Let's not talk about two tails or a tail, you know, because if you talk about one or two, I'd ask you if it's one lump or two. Then I'm going to think about the camel. And now we're going to have a whole other story because it's creation in the AM. C-A-M-E-L. Creation in the AM of Elohim, bringing in Capricorn. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. But it's the 1, 4, 2, 3, or is it the 1, 3, 2, 4 connection? So you can see that reality of building of the mathematics and what is the association of 10 and why 1, 2, 3, 4? Right? What happened to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5? What's going on? What's going on? How do you want me to get myself a K9, if I ain't got the 9? I got the K. Well, where do I got the K? Well, that's pretty simple. It's the 11th letter. And I got that in A. I just put A and A turns into my K. It's doubly delicious. Here's my K. But if I got my K, my question is, are we in Aquarius? So now we have to understand and go to all those who know about the zodiac signs and go, what's Aquarius? It's an air sign. Is it not? Wait a second. Aquarius. It's 11. 3, 7, 11. Throw those dice. So 3 is a craps. 7 is a craps and 11 is a craps. Wow, the air signs are all craps. Oh my God. Wow. 3, 7, 11. Craps. Wow. So you're only going to get a 1 and 2 equals to 3. You're only going to get a 6 and 5 equals to 11. And well, for the 7, you're going to have a 1 and 6 equals to the 7, and an 8 and 3 equals to 11. Hold on, let's write this down. Hold on, let me get out of this for a second. I'll bring that back. So I put K11 because I don't want to forget the dog. You know what I'm saying? Should we forget the dog? Hold on a second. We can't forget that dog. Let's not forget the dog. Can't forget the dog. So let me turn my camera around. I know what seems that I sort of joke around a lot. It's not that I'm joking around. It's got to flow. You have to have a little bit of a time to sort of enjoy it like a programmation, to be programmed, to be deprogrammed, and to see the program in motion. I don't want you to believe anything I say. I want to see like I'm at school right now and you're saying, that's wrong. 1 and 1 is not 2. And this has to be for children that are growing up. We got to be like not 18 and over, but 18 and under adult thinkers. Not somebody that just went to university to think of whatever it is. This has got to be simple pie. I'm a simple pie person, like today is now. Like, do I have something to do now? No. Do I have something to do later? Yes. And then I'd have to precision it. Just like the center C. What did you do in the center C? So what is the center C? What could it be? Don't close the gap. O is on the outside, C is on the inside. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Now, if you want to divide every area space in half, right? We can split this in half and we go side A, side B, but in reality, this is 3, 6, 9. Once you get a point, there's a fold over here. And we're going to draw a line all the way through from here to here. We have to follow the bolts as guides. We have to follow the rocks. We have to follow these markings. And these are basically the same markings I get with the pixels in Microsoft. There's always two parts of a circle that doesn't move the same. So this is where I get my ideas from what is before me, you know, just like Earth and Mars. This is the house, the dimensional house. Oh my God. I didn't know if there was water on the counter. I thought it was just a reflection of the light, and I put the book in it. Ma, I'm trying real hard not to be clumsy. It just happens. You know, I have to have like a checklist before I move. Don't move. Somebody's going to get into your way, but I'm the only one here. Oh my God. Move too fast. Yeah, okay, I put the stove on. Hold on. I'm going to get something out to put on the stove. Let me see, is this good? Yeah, a friend of mine said, he went out, got dinner. I says, what'd you get? And they said they got something, compressed meat of some sort. I says, brilliant. I says, how you doing today? He says, I went to see the doctor. He added on 10 more. He says, pills. He says, I don't care. He says, it's free. I go, oh, yeah, okay. Free. What is free? Does anybody really understand the concept, you know, of saying to somebody it's free? Like with that word, F-R-E-E. Ajay. 6, 18, 24, 34. Again, back at the doorway, free. So this is where your 3-4 comes in, the Earth and Mars Association, the third and the fourth planet. Why A, B, C, D? Why A, B, C, D? Yeah, so I'm probably going to just rewrite these after, not now. We have to get with the A, B, C, D. So we don't have to nothing, right? See this? It ain't the same as it's this. See this and this is the same. It's a 3x3 dot. Okay, and the value is 9. But the house value is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's a 12 stick. See, I have to understand what the three little piggies were thinking. Who's got the brick house? You know, who's got the brick house and who's got 5G TV? That's 5G TV. You lining up for baseball? The Jesus fish of Pisces, I sure is. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes, and every other pitch, you know, every other pitch you take. Or is it 3 balls and 2 strikes, and on the 6th one, right? That's when everything happens, and that fish there is the bat. You got to keep your bat on the ball or your eye on the ball so you can connect it with the bat. Ends up to be your stance. The fish is at the bat. So it's 20 and 27. 27 for ball, T is 20, it's a gateway. In the piano, right, it's A, G, but your T is part of that G. G is your T in gematria. It's the split between 6 and 6. Now you're up Jacob's ladder. So you can see what's happening. On the pole zone, there's actually only 2 and 2. There's only 4. You start from 1 and you go out through 1. 5, 6, your hexagon. But if you can take a good look, this hexagon's on an angle. There should be an angle here and here. And my marking should be here. My passage through in Jacob's ladder. 11, 11, 11. Why? Why would we have so many 11s? 7, 3, 7. When you make up the first one, I'm trying to overtalk the music. Okay, so it takes 7 sticks, 7 sticks and 3 sticks and 7 sticks. 737, and this is where the air sign comes in. With these 7 sticks, what this reality is, okay, is in the first one, you need 10. Each corner has 4. There's 4 corners. There's 4 corners on a tetrahedron. Tetragrammaton? If you want to understand a word, so would you not say that tetragrammaton and tetrahedron start with the same thing? Then we should figure out the grams. Is it 28 grams? 7 by 4 is 28 grams. The 7th letter and the 5th letter. Hold on, what did I just say? The 7th letter and the 4th letter, sorry. And did you know the 5th letter, which is from the ocean, will create those numbers? Moon Electric recreates godlike. How's everybody doing today? Moon Electric. Just give me a second. I'm losing the vibration in the house. I don't like that. There's so much energy outside. They put all these new lights. I can hear it. I can hear it coming in. Boy, where are you? There you are. 764 hertz. Go slow. Oh. This or prana. I don't know, but I bought a lemon yesterday, and I like to look at that wall. See that? Look at that. If I spread one to this side, right? Let me just do this. Hold on a second. I'm going to spread them, right? Instead of like that, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that to it. And then on this one over here, I'm going to do that and then do that. You can call it, I don't know, the motorcycle, the engines, the pistons, coming out over here. Boom, boom, the 2 pistons coming together. And here's the crankshaft over here. But I'm going to give some numbers to this. So we're going to give it, let's say, number 1. And we shouldn't do that. We'll give it that one. And then we'll give it 2. And then I think, I'm not really sure where it goes. Is it 4? And then 3? Nope. Definitely not. Not. How do I get rid of that? That is definitely a wrongie. Oh, sorry about that. Or maybe I should make the other one. Hold on. Yeah, now we got some purple running here. And here we're going to do that one too. We got to overlap like they're working together. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, now, no, wrong one. We got to do that. Okay, so I think I'm going to put a 2 here. I don't know where the numbers go. 2, I think is the 8 go here? And does the 7 go here? And the 1 go here? Does the 5 go here? Let me see if I got this right. And the 4 go over here, or vice versa, right? Because it's 3, 6, 9, right? So we got the 3, 6, 9 Tesla just by turning the 2 commandments. And we both know this is one thing we do know. And you know what it is? It's that we all are going to agree on this. So we have to agree on something. We are going to agree we have A and A, or what we have 2 tablets, just call it B. Or should we say A and B? Just a question of thought. We can also call it 1 and 1. We can also say it's 15 and 15. Why? Because there's 5 here and there's 5 here. That we can agree to. At the same time, how do we achieve 5, right? It's 7 times 6. 7 plus 6 equals to 13, equals to 42. And that equals to 5529. We can't forget that, right? I should be just writing it down, you know? So how do we get 15? Because when you add up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it equals to 15. So you do it twice, you got 30, and that becomes our creation. Creation of 30, the 2 tablets of 15, 15. Now the question is it a 6 and 9, 15? Or is it a 7 and 8, 15? Anybody for tennis? Right? And 3 by 3, 3 times 3, 9, and 3 plus 3, 6, upon the breath you take into the yin yang of the house of the spirit. Zoop, there's the S in the center of your 2 sides. So yeah, just let me finish where I was here before the break. We were talking about the sticks, right? So I like to call this the 22, 2 by 2. And this one, call it the 33 dot, and this is line. And since there's 12 sticks, you have to go 12 times 5 equals 2. You can use any number, but I'm using this number for a specific right now. I'll explain it in a minute. Equals to 60. 12 plus 5 equals to 17. The minus side of this, we're not going to go to right now. The other thing is to take into account that if I had 512, whoopee, if I had some eraser here, I have not looked at the comments. Sorry, I cannot go off track. This is not something that I put together every single day and memorize. There's no rules to which direction I'm going. I'm not reading through a book. I'm just looking back at everything I've done over the last 20 years. Right? Until it comes together, it's going to come together through all of us. Each and every one of us can put together their own understanding. If they want to continue to understand this and put it together, this must come into a system. And I like to call this the dean, the teacher. Edna never stopped growing. Dina never stopped growing. And neither did anybody ever stop learning from the dean. If you're talking Neanderthal, you can go back in time, right? This is history. This is the most ancient reality that can be understood properly today through how the letters were put into their place and given the numbers telling the stories of each letter. You see, this is the reality of this, of what I'm putting together. It doesn't mean when you walk out of here, you put the page on. This is social media. Nothing's real unless you make it real. And it's always your story, and your story's always true because you're telling the story. Now, if you tell everybody this is a true story, it really happened to me, is that true? Right? At some point, we'd all like to know the credibility of the one who counts the story. And according to books, we have a perfect world because you walk into the library today. You can walk into any library today. How many categories of books are there? So here's all my information. This is where I get my understanding for everything, right? This is what it tells me. This is what we're sharing. This is where I go and I take a look. First, I have to study this. I have to understand this before I can even understand that or that, you know, and let me finish with this for a second. So 512, okay, if you go GB, right, how about saying 7227, or how about 9 by 8 equals to 72, and how about 9 plus 8 equals to 17? Check that out. It's very rare to have this where the 1 and the 2 come together because nothing begins until 3. This is going to be your lowest, okay, association, your lowest, like lowest lane. So you have 17 and you have 27 equals to 35 or 3.5. It's actually 314, right? 7 and 7. Oop, not that way. No. I did two systems at once. Sorry about that. Wrong. So 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 2 is 3, so it's 3.14. Now 7 and 7 is 14, and carry the 1 creates 44. The first of its kind. The first of its kind in the English language, 13, because before that was the soul, the 12. Soul power. And the 12 is when you add 1 over to 12, it equals to 78. In fact, when you write the word 12 down, it equals to 87. Now, the soul, 12 by 13 equals 156. 6 by 26, the totality, the association through 6 and not through 12, equals 156. What is 6 times 2 equals to 12? What is 6 plus 2 equals to 8? 12 and 8 equals to 20. Now, I did this for the association of 8 and 12 and 6 equals to 26. This is how Rubik's Cube is built. It has 12 on the edge. It has 8 in the corner. And it has 6 hearts. It becomes a 6 times 1. It becomes an 8 by 3. And it becomes what is a 12 by 2, equaling to 24, equaling to 24, equaling to 6. When you put the 1 and 3 together, you have the bar mitzvah, 30. When you put the 1 and 2 together, you have the bat mitzvah, 30. I guess it's a 30-30. But in this one over here, this is where the master comes out. This is your first part creation, that your lowest creation of 11 is 2, 9 equals to 11. That now when you associate 3 and off the ding dong, the 3 and the 8 equals to the 11, unlike the 4 and 7 equaling to the 11, and the 5 and 6 equaling to 11. But not all are the same. You see, I like to call it the ding dong, right? See the number 8 over here? 8, 1, 8, 3, 9, 11. Or how about the 2? 2, 7, 2, 9, 9, 11. Don't we run that 28-day cycle of the moon? Isn't that one of those, the protractor, those guys with doing the 33 stuff? Right? There's Abraham. Look at that. You know what's funny about this one here is number 8. 8 changes the dynamic of everything. You know why? It's already got the T. Because the value of this is 44, but when you add it to this one over here, it's only 24. All you need is a communication, the gateway within 7. The 2 cubics. Only in number 8 it happens. How come? It ends with a T. So if you add on teen, you don't need the T. You just need the EEN. You add the E right away to the ET. And you know the 8 is in the corners of Rubik's Cube. You know this is holding of the soul inside. There are 12 edges. This is the corner. So to continue on with this one over here, we have 512 memory. Because this is where the numbers show up. We have to find where the numbers show up. Where do these numbers show up? Let's classify them. The same way I like to classify the 7 C's. So when I go to the filing cabinet, I look for the 7 C's. One of the ones I like to see are the chakras. I got that underlined as the 7 C's. So I can get energy up there. 28 and 11 equals to 39. 28 minus 11 equals to 17. Q. A, B, C, D equals to J10. When you have the reverse of this, we're not going to go there yet. We're going to show you how A, B, C, or how about A, B, D, or how about A, C, D, and how about B, C, D. So we have what is F6, we have what is G7, we have what is H8, and we will have what is I9. So this is how I connect my lower house. Yes, it's incomplete. You know why? I ain't the last word. Hey, Joe, you got anything to say today? Go, yeah, maybe we can add this on. Well, where is that? Where is that plug-in? Well, I don't know. Let's ask Ernie and Bert. Hey, anything in here? There's got to be something I haven't seen before. So it's your rubbish is what I make things from. All these words that mean nothing. You know, Ernie and Bert, you know, Sesame Street. We can find this stuff right there. Shazam, Shazam, right? Right there. Never knew it because I didn't know I was asking the question. So when you ask a question, right, it matters to Metatron, right? A through M is 91. The 91st day of the year, the beginning of the baseball season. Hey, baseball begins in Aries. I wonder why, right? Spring training starts in Aries. Maybe we'll jump a couple of stones. Okay, so let's get back to this. Yeah, we almost have that break coming up, but I want to do this, and this. I want to finish this one first. I think I should go back. So 512 is memory. So what you have is 16 by 16. And then you have it again, 16 by 16. You have two halves of the board of 16. Now, the thing about 16, it's so kooky the way it does it, and I don't like it. That 1 and 6 are on each side of the same cube. You know, so you have the 1 on one side, and when you look, right, when you look, you can see the 6 is on the other side. Hold on a second. So you see the 6 on the other side? This is the only 7. This is your only 7. You always have 2 voids. So if I had to mark that down on paper, right, I'd have the dot 1, I'd have the 6 dot, and then I'd have the 2 shadow, and we have the 2 void. So when we total all this up, let's see what we have. We have 2 plus 1 plus 6 plus 2. 2, 4, 5, and 6, we have a total of 11. We have a total of 11, imagine that. We only have 7, but it's showing me 11. Can we find this? When you have 1 on one side, you have 6 on the other side. The areas you do not see is here and here, is over here. When you have the 2 over here, there are 3 cutting through it. 2 and 5, 7. So when you have a 1, 2, you'll have a 6, 5 equals to 11. When you have a 1, 6, when you have the 1, 6, you'll have the 8. Why? What is that 8? You'll have the 6 here and the 1 and 1 here. The reason it didn't count before is I flipped the dice over. So you have your 6, your 1, and your 2. So inside of this one, you have 6, 1, 2. Now, what's special about this? About 126? Let's just do this, the point, okay? Let's do 63. Let's do 21 by 6 equals 126. We can go 6 by 6 by 6 equals 216.0. We can say the hexahedron is 2160. The moon diameter is 2160. This runs with 120 degrees times 3 equals to 360. The other thing about this is that when you get to 216, if this was in minutes, it would be 3 hours and 36 minutes. But if it was in days, it'd be 336 days, which is the last day of the 12th moon. Soul. Just give me a minute. I want to see if it's warming up. Yeah, I think it overwarmed. Yeah, a little overwarmed, but that's okay. Okay, it's gonna shut the stove off. Okay, so just give me a minute over here. I'm gonna be taking a break in a second, but I just want to finish this thing over here. Where was I? Okay, so the thing about the soul is Rabbi Fine, right? And I got to go. I have to have reference everywhere. Whatever I do, there's reference somewhere. If I don't have reference, you got to come and call me out, please. Okay, I got to be judged over here. This is a black and white work. You know what I'm saying? That's all this is. This is very black and white. There's no color involved in this. You know what I'm saying? It's just cut. After we can add the color, together we can add the color, but we have to have the framework, you know, the skull and bones. Just like I'm going to finish off with this over here. So here is the last day of the 12th moon, and it's December 2nd. You know what happens the next day, right? It's the 13th moon. On day 337. But did you see the palindrome in this? 3, 3 come together and to create 6. You're going to see many of these. You're going to see many of these, and where they stand out, they're like marking points. So 336 comes into the eve of 337, and this is the 13th moon. You see, in a leap year, it changes. In a leap year, it changes. It moves one day over. Right? The 336th day will always be the 336th day, but it won't be on the same day. Do you know what day this is? It's December 2nd. Let's see if I want to make sure. You have to look at this. What day number is December 2nd? Very important number. Very important number. Okay? So what this is over here happens on December 1st in a non-leap year. In a leap year, what is the 336th day? What is the 336th day in a leap year? Wow, why won't it give me the number? December 1st, 2024, what day of the year was it? What is the 336th day of the leap year? Okay, so but for some reason they won't tell me. It's supposed to be the first, is it not? It's supposed to be the first. There's supposed to be 30 days left over. So in a leap year, there's 30 days left over, right? But in a non-leap year, it's 29 days left over. This is the bringing in of the child. Why? Because after 28, it's 29, right? The cycle. We must run by the perfect cycle. So if I run by the secondary cycle, the birth cycle, things should be like this. Instead of 13 by 28, it'll be 13 by 29. So let me see what that is. $377. That's perfect. 8 days less than, because I'm just trying to think, the 13.5 times 13.5 times, hold on a second, 29. 391.5. Take away minus 7.5 for a moon pass, 384. 385. Moon passing number 5775. Moon grade General Electric. So if I spell it this way, E, we can remove those. Look, the alchemy inside the word. Look at this, a moon number. Electric is conscience. In fractals, ECT, etc., it's a continuation. So when you have these here, the I and the R, it's a 3 times 6. It's a 3 plus 6. Equals to what is 18, equals to what is 09. It becomes 1/2 and 1/3. This is a duality counted for 2 moons of Mars. This is a singularity, call it for our lunar moon. But you see like the pen in between my hands and the fingers? See these 2 moons of Mars on the other side, right? Guess what? They're connected to the Earth moon. But this moon over here, my pen, is connected to the Mars moon. The eye in the sky. Let's go to Mars. Okay, enough said. So General Electric is 75. General is 87. 12, 13, and 18 is 31 and 5. I want to see if I got that right. Is that 40, 23, and 13? 13, 31, 36, 46, 50. 50 and 5, 55, 72? Thought it was 82. Wow. General. 12 and 14 is 26 and 23. 49, 50, 62. Why am I getting a different number today? Hold on a second. General Electric. Electric Company. Oh, that's what it was. General Electric Company. Right. Okay, I just got the words mixed up. Aerospace. You see aerospace? Right? Everybody knows what an aero bar looks like, right? Did you follow me? Aerospace. Right? Where is that cheese? Where is that cheese? Hey, Dr. Mario, you coming here, Mattel? Right? Anybody hear of that? The first telephone. Right? And then when they connected it, right? We have to go to game services because that's the house, right? We built a game. It's a game. It's a fun house. I mean, where are we? I mean, hold on a second. I just want to get out of this for a second. I know I talk a lot. I'm hoping I'm being it's understood. I might be off on my own chase. It's a fun house. Aren't you having fun? Nothing's easy. Who said it's easy? Even those who have it all, it ain't easy. Right? Did you come here in mind, body, and soul, or is it just all about you? Right? Are you the one in traffic? It's all about you until you get into the traffic, until it's not all about you. Sometimes you find the patience, sometimes you don't. I'm going to take a 5-minute break. I'm going to come. I think I'm running a little too fast. I think I'm jumping around too much. I think it's hard to hold anybody around that can hold any interest to think they might want to learn to see what's going on. Right now, you might be here just listening to the story, so I can tell you the story. I am is what a word is, that the A letter splits in half to what I is. The 9th letter, I take up the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. I am born between the 2 ears of Mars, Phobos and Deimos. I am the 11 coming into the mother house, the joint house, the bet and the vet. Even the Spaniards changed a B for a V. So did the Hebrews. Bet and vet is in the same letter. I like to say power up the oceans and rise the sun from beneath. This one over here. In school, they taught us about lines, and we're going to finish off with the lines thing before I take, the lines. Is it the milli lines, like in the million? Is it the B in the billion? To understand the numbers, the letters, and then we go to those who have studied the zodiac, and we go to those professionals who studied the tarot cards, and we show them the association of the numbers and their cards to find another dimension, a more precise way to read those cards because of the word, because of the math, because of the equation, because of creation. Upon the breath you take in the system we live, constant upgrades of every single human being is planted in the seed, just like they planted it in my father and planted it in my mother, and then my father planted it in my mother, and then out from Niagara Falls, here I am, stuck in the middle of you, and still to this day, my mother and father have not left me. How can they? They are my bones, they are my fluid. I am the continuation of the duality of my parents and grandparents. I carry on whether I like it or not. I was born from their flesh, so it's not my choice. So whatever was vibrating in their minds at the time, whatever their programmation was and their choice to come into this world, I'm one of the results. But who I am today and what I have chosen, is it all of me who chooses? Or do I have a choice? You have a choice. Hold your horses. In school, they taught me to bubble up everything. You want to give a little flesh to your bones, you bubble it. So I created the letter I. And then you know what? After painting already for a couple of years, I just gave it a little twist. On one side, right? The head and the feet are not exactly the same, so why should I make it exactly the same? Is your head like your feet? Although you are all of what you are you 360 complete? 360 is not complete, not according to the day. According to the tetrahedron, it's 720. And yet, at 720, it's only complete within itself. I'm just walking around looking for it. And even to its completion, it's still not complete. How many of these do I need to encompass before this becomes all of what it is? How much area space do I need? And how many sticks and stones do I need to build before this is completed? What does that mean? I need to encompass. Or should I just say, this is the heart of all that is? And in the heart that all that is three, 1 and 1 and 1. Or how about, do you see it? There's 10 and 7, 17. And then we have the ball in the center, the 18th one. I have to recount all of this. You have the, oh yes, so this is 4 sides. I can't even explain everything that goes on. But when this gets encompassed, and this gets encompassed, yeah, I'm going on break in a minute. Give me a minute. Yeah, so Rubik's Cube, right? Rubik's Cube itself. Yeah. Rubik's Cube, you know. Oh, yeah, I mentioned it before, right? So Rubik's Cube is this. So if you just count the corners, is 8. If you just count the hearts, it's 6. That's 14. And you count the center, That's the 15th one. That's Saturn square. Saturn square is counting the corners. Saturn square is counting the corners and the heart. So when we look at that, right, and we still have to do that. Oh my God, there's so much to do. I have to slow down. I need some guidance. Call out Santa Claus to hold on to the reindeer. Right. So Saturn square is a 3 by 3 by 3 or a 33. It's a 6 and a 27. 6, 9, 27. Oh, I don't like the math. I'm going way too fast. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Okay. It's a 33 because it's a 3 times 3 equals to the 9 face. It's a 3 by 3 by 3 equals to the cubic of the total area spaces that there are. There are 26 and 1, just like the alphabet. And when you grab the head and tail of the alphabet, this is what it looks like. If you moved it up to the completion of its own area space, you would have 260 and 10, equaling to 27, equaling to 270. How about some baseball? 4 balls and 3 strikes. So where are we with this? Yes, so this one here is that. The other one on the other page that I drew before is this. This is what the 11 and 33 is basically about. This is the 22, what it is about. Here, there is an edge. Here, there is no edge. These are all corners. There's 4 corners. Now, my question is, what are the numbers here? Here it's 2, 4, 6, 8. Now, but when I do this, look what happens. I connect 6 over here. I connect 8 over here. You connect 6 here. If I flip it to the other side, what do you think you got? You have 6 and 2, 8. Doesn't matter what you do. That's how the game goes in the spirit of 76. When you go 4 and 4, it's 3 and 3. So when you go 2 and 4, you go 5 and 3. And math-wise, they're the same. 2 times 4 equals 8. 2 plus 4 equals 6. 6 plus 8 equals to 14. 1 plus 4 equals to 5. Now you go and you flip it to the other side. Hold on a second. 5 and 3. 5 and 3. 5 times 3 equals to 15. 5 plus 3 equals to 0, 8, because I used 2 numbers. This one over here, plus 8 equals to 23. 2 plus 3 equals to 5. And to get this 1, 4, which is A, B, C, D, equals to 10J, which is associated to after the D and before the C. Communication services after the death of Aquarius is in blackjack, giving ace 11. Why would you think they put the ace in Aquarius? They show you inside of this, okay? Instead of the G for silver, they give you the Q. The Q is 17. It's an association of 10 and 7 according to the French. So right away, the G is included in the Q, so the silver is hidden inside the Q, associating your silver and gold together and bringing your QU together. Your A is your split houses where I and I reside. In fact, I is everywhere in here in which it goes unnoticed. When the French speak, they say this, you can be minus and plus, and this came in the association. I swam in the Jordan when I was born, and I did, and I have pictures of it too. The thing is, I was born down the street from a pig farm, and they put too much pig manure in it and couldn't swim there anymore. So I'm not sure where I put it, but I'll find it. When I find it, that's when we're going to call the break. Here's that same association. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did Eve get a rib? See, the thing is about Adam and Eve, what you have to understand is that you see this here, it's not what you think it is. See these numbers here? You see odds and evens, right? You also see the lineup. We've got the morning lineup of the cardinal signs, the fixed signs, the mutable signs. But we'll go from bottom left to top right when you were calculating over here, and we'll go 4, 4, 4, 4, and down below the 1 over here. Okay, what's here? What's over here? If this is 5 and this is, what's here? It's going to be this. It's going to be 7. It's going to be 6, 1, 5. I may have made a mistake the other day. Oh no, I was going over to, I was going over to 2. 6, 1, 5, 9, 4, 8, 3. Who taught you how to write? 6, 1, 5, 9, 4, 8, 3, 7, 2, 6, 1, 5. Another way to mark this is 6, 1, 5, 9, 4, 8, 3, 7, 2. 6 and 8, 14. 5 and 9, 14. 1 and 4, 14. 9 and 2, 11. 8 and 3, 11. 7 and 4, 11. 52 is the heart of Earth. 7 and 7 equals to 14. Who taught you how to write? 7 and 7. Hey, slow down. 7 and 7 equals to 14. 7 and 4 equals to 11. G, 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 D. That's all that goes along with that. When you see this over here, what it is with harvest is that it's 10 and 8 also goes together. So it's the association of Capricorn, right? And then you have to go to Scorpio with Capricorn. Not my choice. These are not my choices. This is the 18th letter. This is the 8th letter. This is the first letter. Right? The house is split. Gonna go on break. The house is split. We have the left and the right angles in the house. The 12th letter and the 18th letter. The 12 edges and the 6 hearts. 18 and Chai for the heart. 10 and 8 is the B house. Capricorn association again. 18, 17 is going to be with Libra. The French say it this way. I don't want to lose the last page. Where was that? Just give me a second. Yes, Q, Libra, and Capricorn. So this was 17. It's going to be mentioned as 10 and 7. Here's your AG. Like I mentioned, what happens is the French separate this. As well, when the French get to 70, okay, they don't even say this. They will say 60 with a 10 or an 11. And what happens with that is there's no connection, okay? There's no connection to ST, right? This is a total of 39, and it rests to the gateway, the peak of the connection. I'm going to put this on break now. I will come back to answer questions. I'm still very incomplete, and I'm still putting this all together. I just saw there are 12 people here, right? We can go anywhere you want. This here is what happens when you divide by 7 and 13, and the association of the 7 days and the 13 moons. And this is all what we're running right now. All these numbers I'm using for this game to understand. What am I trying to understand? The numbers. Very important to understand algorithms, how the numbers dance. After that, right, we can look at it on the screen. I've got a page of 81 pages of 99 numbers divided by 99 numbers, and there's a whole motion that's going on. What you're seeing on top is your binary mix, right? Your binary mix on the left side. Holds up the 147, right? Just give me a second. I will describe this first before I. So when you look at the 147 over here and the 258, your binary runs that way. They only use those numbers in the fixed and in the cardinals. The other thing about that is if you take a look at the cardinals, divide everything by 3 and see what you get, multiply it by 3, see what you get, add it up to a single digit. Do it with all the numbers, but just primarily with 3 and 4, because that's where the passage is. 3.5, the heart of I am. Yeah, I just stepped on something. I'm just trying to think. Yes, and especially this one here. This one here is very special, okay? There's 6 numbers in this one. Each one is 6 numbers, and they all add up to 27. On the right side, there's only 6 numbers. On the left side, okay, there's also only 6 numbers, but on the right, they only have a specific 6 numbers. On the left, there is a specific 6 numbers. 6 of them include a 0, and 6 of them do not. 6 and 6 of them are identical. And when you add up all that is 13, you will see the numbers will replicate and everything will end up to be 999,999. The dots are valued at 1, the sticks are valued at 5. When I mentioned before the sticks and the stones, well, the stones are 1 and the sticks are 5. So when I calculate the 17 tetrahedron, right, do I calculate it by 5s plus the 15 sticks I saved? It's 10 sticks to create the first one. 10 sticks and how many balls? You follow what I'm saying? So I'm going to be on break for a few minutes here. I'm going to check the questions out, see if I can maybe reheat this coffee that I think I ruined before. Oh, plus the dog's right. I can't forget. Yeah, I can't go on much longer. I'm gonna have to. You know, I'm gonna try. I don't even know what time it is. Yeah, I forgot. Wow, I never do that. 3:19. Yeah, 4 o'clock. I'm done. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we got till 4 o'clock. This dice. Take a little bit of this dice. You know, I'll take this dice, that dice, and your advice. You know what I'm saying? But I won't take the Advil. Oh, not bad. So let me see what's going on. I'm going to look at all the comments. Sorry, I just missed all the comments, but I want to see what's going on. We can't forget to help support the channel because we're actually just supporting ourselves. This must come out. This will come out. It is going to be, and it already is. Okay, this is the first live mechanical game where people speak about the game they're creating in the midst of its creation before it becomes something that can be found in everybody's home, is to understand the building of the game. Where is the credibility? Where is the credibility of the narrator of the game? It's not the books in the closet. How everything came to be what it is. You will see the building of the game itself, right? How every word will be, instead of it being misunderstood, it will be preordained, okay, to be understood. For who art thou picketh to know the difference, or to choose that a word is just a word. That for every beat of music that you hear, does everybody walk the same? Does everybody feel the same? And with what same is your name, your game, no one to blame. All these will give you a better understanding of the etymology. Can I say etymology? I don't know if I like to use that word. And what it was is each one of them ended with AME. But if I was a French person, I wrote down AME, that would be the soul. So what would we have now? AME or the soul? The numeric value of AND DNA is 19. Sorry, the AME, the AME, the M13, the E5, the A1. 13 and 5 is 18, and 1 is 19. Your DNA is 19. We're talking about the soul in English is 67. The 19th letter is S. It hangs around, and when it curves itself, when you draw a straight line through it, it creates the R. It's the equator of the yin and the yang, matching up with the two eyes of yin yang. What is S and R? It's 19 and 18. It is the beginning, it is the end, it is the end, it is the beginning. You encompass it, and therefore and beyond you encompass that as well. And therefore and beyond you encompass that as well. And after you encompass what is P and U, Miss Pew the skunk, what is 16 and 21? So 16 and 21, what is 1, 2, 1, 6 is what is 4 and 12. Purple Rain. So what you have here is you have one area space encompassed by 8. In this one over here, you have 4 area spaces encompassed by 12. Here's your 22. Here's your 1133. Here's your 2244. Here's your 22, 2 by 2. Here's your 3 by 3, which one is at the heart. Just like Rubik's Cube, the heart of Rubik's Cube is 1 with 8 surrounding. The upper and lower areas over here is going to equal what is a 4, 1, 4, 4, 1, 4 area space. But the heart of this, you only see the 8 around, you don't see the 1. But actually, what it actually is, it comes out to the same 4, 04, because you only get to see 8 of them. And the same thing on the keyboard. So if you're talking about 10 or something, we got to look like this, counting the heart. Always counting the heart, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Always counting the heart, right? Coming out from the heart. The pinball comes out from the heart and you drop 6 feet when you go down because the 3 levels to the cube. They're square. Otherwise, it looked like a hockey puck. You know what I'm saying? Here's the first puck, the second puck, the third puck. And now it becomes a square. So we can see that this one here is for the 13 for the bar mitzvah. We need to take this heart over here and put it here for the butz mitzvah. So what happens to these 2 boards is this will come and play a role right here. right? And when it plays that roll, it's going to play the 1, 2, 5, 4, 5. That's terrible. It'll play the 1, 2, 4, 5. And when it goes here, it'll play the 2, 3, 5, 6. And when it plays here, it'll play the 5, 6, 8, 9. And then when it plays here, it'll play the 4, 5, 7, 8. So 66, 88, 12, 12. Should I mark 24? I could. And then over here, 14, 14. So I got 24. And here I got 28. So we have 7 by 24 and 6 by 28. Mars and Earth. This is 7. This one over here is 5. This is 7. This one over here is 5. All right, here, 66. Connecting them together. 5, 6, 7, 6, 5. The year 5760 was a reset. It's also equal to the year 2000. It's an equivalent to what is 1440 by 4. What is the day? To what is 2/3 of a tetrahedron. So the 1/3 of the tetrahedron must flip over at that time. And this is the dictation of the calculators, the cubes, the alphabet. The Tzolk'in calendar, or the 260 days, if you just know, I don't want to go into there right now. Puff the Magic Dragon, yeah. Puff the Magic Dragon down by the 7 CCCs, right? The air signs, the chakras. Yeah, I spoke about that before. I wanted to write that down. Just give me a second. So we had 3 and 7 and 11. 1 and 2. 3 and 4. 5 and 2. 1 and 6. 1 and 2 and 4. Just give me a second. 4 and 7, 8 and 3, 6 and 5. Here we end up with 8 and 7 equals to 15. Here equals 11. Here equals 11. Here equals 7. We minus it. No, I was trying to see what am I going to do. Why did I do that? What? Okay, no, I didn't want to do that. Sorry about that. Hold on a second. I didn't want to do that. So what it is, this is also 11. So why didn't I put 3 there? Why did I do that? I didn't want to do that. Hold on a second. Yes, I did want to do that. Okay. And then the other one is going to be the 3. And then the other one's going to be the 7. And the other one's going to be the 7. And the other one's going to be the 7. So this is this setup over here. That when you see a 3, 4, right? This is your any craps. These are your air signs. This is the situation right now. Before I just mentioned it, this is where Gemini comes in. So Gemini is immutable. The thing about that is it took a fixed and a cardinal to come together to create your first air passage. Or was it broken down and down into the moons? Maybe the air pass was already created and we counted down from 10, down to 6. How do you count down to 6? It's easy. 10, 6, 3, 1, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you add up. 1, 3, 6, 10. See, just the numbers change positions. I can reposition all these numbers as well. Where does it come from? Oh, it's just like 1 plus 2 equals 3. Okay, plus 3 equals 6. Right, that's all it is. Plus 4 equals 10. That's all. That's all I did. 1, 2, 3, 4. Equals to 5. Equals to 5. Equals to 4. Equals to 6. 1.5 times the difference. The thing about this, right, is that what is 5, 5 is 2, 2 is 44 is 77. And what is 4, 6? Let me see. What is, hold on a second, 4, 6. I just want to see why I did the 5. Okay, yes. What is 4, 6 is 3, 1 is 5, 3 is 6, 8. So does everybody know where I got this from, right? Okay, I'm going to explain it to you. So let me have a little sip of this and tell you. Okay. When I total the A, B, C, D, there's only 9. That's all there is 9. When you get to 10, it's a double digit. It's 2. It's duality. So if everything starts in duality, singularity, 1 lump, duality, 2 lumps. You know, if you ever saw that word, but if you heard the word without seeing it, this says to sync, but it's not that sync. And if it was that sync, is it in sync? It's communication connecting your 9 lives of the cat. Because the way to get your 5 is your 1, 4 to get the 5, and your 2, 3 to get the 5. Your 2, 3 is your BC communication inside the divided house through the gateway. Why do I say the gateway? If you take a good look, bottom left to top right, all moving by 4s, 2, 6, 10. Earth, 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 Capricorn goes off onto the other side. When we go down this way, I'm going to start at Virgo down here. Yeah, before 1 is Virgo. And after 6, okay, it's Capricorn. And before this, it's Libra. Libra's right down here underneath 1. How do I know? I'm going to show you that. We were doing that 2 seconds ago. I'm going to have to find that again, right? Okay, let's not leave this page. I don't have to find it again. I already know. Okay. 6, 1, 5, 9, 4, 8, 3, 7, 2, 6. The other one, I wanted to finish with this. So what this is when you see 6 and 4, you flip it over, you see 3 and 1. So that's why I put 3 and 1, 6 and 4. Now, when you see this, 5 and 3, where does it come from? If I remove 5 areas from, if I remove, see 5 and 4? If I remove 5 areas, you have 4 left over. 5 and 4. See 6? If I remove 6 areas, you have 3 left over. I remove 3, you have 6 left over. 6 and 3. 1 and 8, if I move 1 area out of the way, you got 8 left over. That's where I get that from. I just follow those rules. The paper, this, the rules of the game, the alphabet, the location, the design, etc. And all the other ways that they use certain alphabets. I look because all we're looking for is just to harmonize everything. Right up to musical notes. It's everywhere. It's just everywhere. How's everybody doing? So this is what this is. So when you calculate it, 9999999. They're all 9s. Now your beginning of this, okay, this here, okay, is what it is the opposite. When you come to the game of craps, and this is where this part came out, these are crap numbers. In the game of craps, this 3, 7, 11 is considered what? You see, and there's another game where the 8 and 9 become a natural, okay? This is what happens. So they, instead of 11, they go yo-11. Why the Y-O? Why the 15th and 25th letter? Okay, so I'm just going to show you what happens with the 15th letter and the 25th letter. Okay, how about 51 Mars? How about Leo, number 32, 5? And Mars, 51. I didn't write that down properly. Leo's number 32 in its word itself, ole, right? Or how about over here, Leo, 512, 0. 1, okay, through 5 equals to 15. 2 through 6 equals to 20. The year 2015 was also the Hebrew year 5775. What is 77 times 75? And the in-between year was 76 by 76. This was the year 2016, right? Or how about 12 and 6 on the clock equals to the 18th hour, which is back to 6 on the clock. But it's also 6 by 6 by 6 equals to 216, or what is the 336th hour, 3 hours, 36 minutes, which is 216 minutes, which in days becomes the last day of the 12th moon. How's everybody doing? I just have to get off the carpet. The floor is extremely cold. I'm going to just sit down over here. So I was talking about yo. 512 is 512's conscience. Memory as Y25, that flux capacitor. Where are we going to find 25? It shows up with 74. Look at that. GD, right? You can go, these are just the direct letters. But there's 7 months of 31 days and 4 months of 30 days. So you have Y. And did you know that Earth is number 52? Well, we can put heart in there also, the same word, right? Just move the H over. TH, when does TH begin? It only begins at 4th. And it ends at 20th. IETH. I before ETH. This is D. This is T. DT. Summer house, 420. Did you know the Aztec, okay, had a calendar that ran 260 days, which is 420, or actually it's 4 hours and 20 minutes, 420, 420. What's before this? It's first, it's second, it's third, and then fourth. first, second, third, fourth. And all you need is a standard deck. Don't forget the canine into the creation. 500, 100. D is 500. Now let's check this out. Mars, 51. 51, 5 and 1, 52, 5 and 2, and they call this yo. They call this yo. 7, 11. So tell me how precise that is. The other thing is 5775 is a reflection of 5772, and that's 13 times 444. Or what is 444 by 4 for 1776? And then it creates the design of 1111. See the letter M bringing the left hemisphere to the right hemisphere? The design's not perfect. So what you can see is here's the 5. Here's the 7. Here's the 7. What should have been a 5 turned out to be a 2. So when we're counting from an area space, we have to count coming, opening up the door, stepping into the room, and then either going around the house or out to the other side. Your E sigma and your E sigma coming together for your area space, but really it's just 5775 and 5775. $57.75. I should really look at the comments. I'm really sorry about that. I'm going to go back and look at a bunch of them. Prana music. Somebody asked me something. Yeah, sorry, Peace. Just sorry. If you know what, if we can just piece together pieces and parts. I upload all these to YouTube. So if somebody goes to YouTube and picks out a 2-minute or 3-minute piece and comes up here and shows it to me, I'll go over everything. Will I ever forget? Have I forgotten? I don't know. I could. It happens to everybody, but usually not. Maybe not the same equations, but I'll usually be able to tell a story, a depth of something. So yeah, if you want to help the channel, you got to spread it, man. 12 people out here for 21 years. And guess what? If we want to know more, we have to spread it. You think this is just for me? Just for me. I'm satisfied in my mind, but not satisfied enough, because how do you open a can? You know, I'm a little Pollock. I need like 100 people to help me hold up that light bulb. You know what I'm saying? Only your questions could advance me, and only your questions can advance you. So only working together can it advance us. It just so happens. Sorry about that. It just so happens that the USA is at the 7th gate. Hold on a second. Whoop. Yeah, okay, just there's no comments in 2 hours, but that's okay. I'm fine with it. So let me just describe what's happening behind here, right? Yeah, I know I'm too fast, way too fast. I don't like it. You want to know something really funny? I'm just looking at the Hebrew letter mem. You know what it looks like? It looks like somebody just took a dump, you know? And the mem is 13,513, which says sun, sun. It's also two transitions. The mem is 1,000, and it's actually 5,000 and 5,000 with the E in it. Why is that? What is the M letter? Can we create the M here? See, the M brings you to the heart of both houses. The W spreads you out. When you count on an angle, you're counting by ones. You're counting right? You're counting by one, two, sorry, wrong way to express it. When you count to this point here, you count by twos. There's two checks over here before you reach the point of each one. So when you put a mark in between the two checks, you create that window. Now there's many ways to connect these squares that will tell you whether or not you're with a heart position playing at the heart, or whether you're not off out in the corner or stuck over here inside of a moon or a sun position. 13 and 12 is here. 14 and 15 is here. You jump from 12 over to the 14th position, and you jump from 12 to the 15th position. You jump from 13 into the 15th position for mother. You jump from 12 into the 14th position. This is the first area, right? Why do you do that? Why do I do that? Because they overlap each other. Here's the 12. It's an overlap. Here we didn't overlap. Why did I do this? Because it's 1 and 1, the value. Each one of these is a 2 value, and a 1 and 1 value on an angle overlaps. I had no choice. Also, when counting on an angle, when you count the dots, right, there's one dot here, and the next area space gets cut in half. If that area space gets cut in half, well, 2 has got to be a half area space, right? Cut something in half becomes a half area space. Wow, I'm looking at myself and going, oh my God, Phil Donahue. Okay. Great person, great person. Today is the master day. I'm going to show you what I just did here before. We're going to switch it up for 1 second. I'll finish this in a minute. So, man, I'm all over the place. I'm not going to save any heaven for anybody today. So back to the yo. So Earth and Mars are both 51 and 52. The 15th letter for O. And over here to 52, okay, is going to be Y. Now, why would you say that? Because the 25th letter is Y. And the 15th letter is O. So you got yo. And then you got 103. You got Gemini and Capricorn. It's a perfect 13. 0, 7, 6, 9, 2, 3. 3 divided by equals 2. Is it 2, 3? I'm just guessing. 2, 3, 0, 7, 6, 9, and then you're going to go 7, 6, 9, 2, 3, 0. So when you divide 3 by 13, it equals this. And when you divide 10 by 13, it equals this. Now you're going to ask yourself, how do I know the answer already? There's only 2 answers. And they're just in different orders. And the answer to the first one, what is the answer to 3 and 10 equals to 13? Or what is 4, they walk the plank together, 4 and 9 equals to 13, right? And then you have 5 and 8 equals to 13, and you have 6 and 7 equals to 13. The Hebrew year that we're in right now is here. And we're going to be here for another 2 years. But this is our first singularity. In the next 2 years, we will run through singularities. And the singularities are going to come here in these two. The 7 and the 8 are singularities, as the 1 and the 2. Remember, as I spoke before, and we didn't finish this, 1 through 5 is 15, 2 through 6 is 20, 2 through 6, 1 through 5. 2 times 6, 12. 2 plus 6, 8. One times 5. 1 plus 5. 1 and 1 is 2. They are the same. In the year 2015 was the year 5775. This is the year 2016. 6 by 6 by 6. It splits the clock in half. Everything to do with the feminine. Everything. And 2 cubes, 6 and 6, also come together. As well, Aquarius. When you add up A1 over to K911, when you add up from 1 over to 11, it equals to 66. The thing about this, you know what's really cool when you add up 1 through 11 is, hold on a second, I had a thought. I don't know if it's working. Yes, the word 11, 5, 17, 22, 44, and 5, 49, 59, 63. Imagine the K9 dog 11 equals to 63. Your first fabrication is 2 and 9, 11. Yeah, your first fabrication is 2, 9. 92 is yellow. 92, right, is going to equal to April 1st in a leap year. 29 is going to be February in a leap year. And on September, 30th, hold on a second. September 30th is the 273rd day. September 29th is the 273rd day in a leap year. December 1st and 2nd is where there are 30 days left over in the year and 29 days left over in the year. Which is the last day of the 12th moon. And this all happens because of the leap year. That normally on April 1st, it's the 91st day. And that's 13 by 7, or exactly counting A through M. And what they say is Capricorn gets up at midnight. Well, midnight represents the feminine, 6 and 6, 12, the two houses, duality of two numbers, unlike 6 at the bottom of the clock. 1224 is not like 12 and 24 equals to 36, but 6 and 18 only equals to 24. The thing about this, is this is 4 digits. This is only 3 digits. So this will work at 120 degrees by 3, and this one will work at 90 degrees by 4. So we bring everything to conformity inside the matrix. The 91st day, the word spirit. So it seems like that when you come in after the leap year, after you're born, you come into the house, you continue on with the spirit. Inside your breath, it's almost like they locked you into this. Like on the cross, like you can never go here or here. It's like everything is polarized. Otherwise, why don't we have 92 every single time? 29 is continuation. 28 is an end. A period. Remember, when you have your period at the end of every sentence, what sense? Right? You get 25 years to life. Jail is 31 in Monopoly. Jail is 71 in Monopoly. At 71 and 111 and 151, you end up with JC. Why? 77 and 74 is 151. You also vibrate between 234432, which is 18 by 18, or adding up 1 to 18 equals to 171. 18 by 18 is 324, and you vibrate in between the 1 plus 2 equals to 3 creation of the moons. Reverse alphabet 24, you have sex, and the numeric value is 63, and it spells out the word itself. Well, anyways, the proton, the electron, the neutron, and you got the PENIS. Number 63, P16, E5 for 21, N14 for 35, I9 for 44, and S19 for 63. So inside the K11, the K is the 11 valued at 9. And you saw inside the doghouse is the creation birth. 1 between 2 equals to 3. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 equals to 18, equals to 9, equals to what is 1/3, equals to what is 2/3. 1 moon and 2 moons. 18, you run the plank, and you take out your protractor, and you are born upon the cross. Here's your feet, or maybe your 2 eyes for each side. Maybe we'll come in as a bird by the breath we take. Help! Okay. So where were we but this, right? We were talking about this. Now, when we get the 12 Pisces, and the 11 will create the place for Pisces, the fish. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1. Isn't that good enough for a 12? There's another way to get a 12. The opposite of 1 is 6 by 6. 6 plus 6 equals to 36, equals to 12. The total is 48. 8 and 4 equals to 12. Same thing. They're opposite side of the dice. You want to see something really ironic? You see that? Not that. See that 6? S19, I9, X24 equals to 52. ONE equals to 34. 1 plus 6 equals to 7. 5 and 2 equals to 7. 3 and 4 equals to 7. They're all there. 16 by 16 is 256. 256. 512 conscience. Yo. Also represents September. Also is Mercury. ME, matter and energy, equaling to 18. Talking about the 12 edges. What I see happen to the Mars cube, that if I should take out numbers, here, right, I can either run the Mars cube around coming in with no numbers or coming in with numbers. I ask myself a question. That if I was only going to run a Mars cube, what numbers would I give it? And I decided to give it these numbers. Those are the numbers to Mars cube. When I give Earth its numbers, It's Abraham's house, eh? Yeah, so this comes off the this is the edge, right? And this one over here is the center, like center ice. So there's 6 centers in the cube and there's 12 edges, and then there's one heart for 19, which controls it all. So when you're seeing this over here, right, this is going to come up with the cube that we have. See, the Mars house got split apart. One here, one here, one here, one here. Now we have the edge. This goes on top right here. So when it harmonizes with this, okay, I don't know if I should use this or should I use this one. It's the other way. So when I put this on top of here is one rule. When I just use this itself is like this. 10, 10, 4. This is 4. This is 16. So the 16 4, 12, 16. This is 16, so it becomes 4, 7. So you have D and G coming over here. You have the GDP coming over here. And then you have, I'm just totaling up AF, but played in the role of, oh, it's G. Okay, that's fine. I could put it down. I'm just looking at something, what else is within this side. This one over here, what happens next is this one will overlap this one, but I'm going to send it into the game as blank. That when it overlaps here, right, what happens is it brings 1, 2, 4, 5 together. And then it brings, whoopee, that's really ugly. I want to be nice and neat. So it brings 1, 2, 4, 5 together. And then what it does is it brings 4, 5, 7, 8 together. And then it brings 2, 3, 5, 6 together. And then it goes and it brings 5, 6, 8, 9 together. So what happens is it becomes like, it takes itself here and it does this. And then the other one goes here and then here and then here. And that's how it shifts. In the second dimension of understanding, the reason I called all these out at these numbers is because the edges have 3. The insides have 2. So does that mean that 1 was not 1 until it became what it is to become an edge? And can you become 1 other than dividing something like 3 by 3? 3 divided by 3 equals to 1. 9 divided by 3, okay, equals to 3. So what divided by what? 21 divided by 3 equals 7. So can I have done that? Could it have been 3? Could it have been 9? Could it have been 21? Could it have been 27? Now we have 30, 30. I want to know how it got down there. And then I have 12 and 48. Wow, I must be shooting from beyond the arc. 4 and 8 is 12. So I like to look at this a little different. At the same time, it becomes 3, 9, 3, 9, when you add it to a single digit, creates 12. 12 creates 6 and 18. The same assembly, okay, as this over here. 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 9. Is that 18? That's a little far-fetched. But what happens with this, okay, this will remain 3, 9. This is going to turn into a 5. And this is going to turn into a... I'm only going to go one dimension with this, because otherwise this will end up to be 29. The cardinal becomes the mutable. 2 times 7, 14. 2 plus 7, okay, is 9. 9 and 14, 23. 2 and 3 is 5. By the way, angel is 39. The lower house, 1/3, and the upper house, okay, what is 2/3? So if we have 1/3 and 2/3, we have 30 and 10 equals to 40. I'll show you where I get those numbers from. Where do I get those numbers from? Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. A, B, C, D equals to 10. This is where Capricorn comes in. Capricorn 10 is an assembly that when you join the house, right, of A, B, C, D, you now take your A and connect it with your I. You now connect your B and you connect it with your H. This is your water, okay? The thing about this is D and F connect together. When this is on, this is off. When this is off, this is on. Two and 8. And 4 and 6. When you're asleep and when you're awake. Never using all 12 zodiac signs the same way. So we have 14 and 8. So where is the 14 and 8? The 14 is 2 and 2 equals to 4. 7 and 7 equals to 14. And the 8 can be the 8 and the 1, or it can be the 5 and 3 equals to 8, where we have the 4 and 6 equals to 10. So where do I get this from? When you see the 5, it's going to be located here. Everything is 9. It all has the total 9. So I put 5. But there's more than just one of these answers. It's just that I'm a little tired at the moment, so I'm just going to give you just 1 or 2 of the answers, right? So let's add this up. 7, 2, 7, 5 equals to what is 6, equals to what is 12. Wow, looks like the clock. Equals to 9, 9 equals 7, 11. Equals to 99. I can multiply it. There's other things. I'm just making the page small, and I should, when I put it in the game, I should be sitting here and doing all the end results. I shouldn't be just flying through this. This is improper. Here is 12, 12. Here is 15. Here is 9. Here's 11. Here's 13. So your 15s. Here's your 9s. Here's your 11s. You see, 1 between 2 begins the game. So your 1, 9 is 10, your 2, 9 is 11, your 3, 9 is 12. In order to get the bar mitzvah, we have to jump here. It starts off in the duality world. 4 seasons, 4 signs in the house of Abraham. They run a plank together. The 6 is in the upper world. It's your first connect 7. Your 3, 4 connects into the lower world before it moves on up. There's a plank between the 2. Your next one here is your 88. And then this way, right? What number was this? Right. This way is 11 and this way is 5. 511 is the key. November 5th, May 5th, the 131st day. And November 11th. I forget what date is. November 11th. There were 19 and 31. There were 50 days remaining. Oh, the 315th day, I think. Very important. Sun pass. November 11th, what day of the year?
It's Wednesday, November 11th, 2026.
224, 112. See, but the thing is no, that's wrong. November 5th is what day of the year?
It's Thursday, November 5th, 2026.
The 309th day of the year and 310th day of the year. That's what it is. 309 and 310. Sagittarius, Capricorn coming together. The 30 days of the 9 birth. The 31 days of no life. Because you die hard. Yes, the H and the A take up this area over here, and that's in the sun. And it's the sun die. Oh, the alchemy. So what it is A and H is that all of goes all the way around. It picks up all the connects. I should really, really slow down and show you the minuteness that everything will connect here, or in this world, what we're doing, we're just going across and adding them up instead of going right and connecting with Leo right at the heart. Leo Scorpio is right now. This is the period we're in right now. We're out of it in 2 more years. How long have we been in this for? Since I think this is just our 2nd year. It's just our 2nd year, but we jump out, right? When we jump out into the Scorpio of this, it's how can I explain this? This is in the period of Mars. When Scorpio comes about, we're jumping out to the reconnect of 13. More or less, let me explain that, okay? We're coming into the duality area. So when we do this, it's all diamonds. You see, with this, I can make diamonds, right? With these connects. With this one, I can't. With this one, I must show the tooth gap. I need a gap. I can't stop until I get to the corners. Right? So when I create the stop sign, I'm going to have spokes that are going to be sticking out of this. See, I can split this one here, but in general, in reality, I'm not allowed. The 9 area spaces here, right? I can do this and this and this and this and this and this, this. That's all I can do. And we have to note that since 1 between 2 equals to 3, and the beginning is the passage between 3 and 4, so you see the 8 in the middle, we got a building going this way. And then we have another one going this way. We got 2 different buildings going up and down because of this. What it is it's this. We went from 3, let's do a double. We went from 3, going through 3. I went through here and over here, 3 into 4. And when I did that, I cut here and cut up. And then what I do is I cut over and cut down. And then I run this building here. And I cut across this way, and then I cut across this way. I can run this one this way, in the opposite direction. And then you have this as your crossover link. But we can continue it on. It doesn't have to stop there. In reality, we can just do this. 9, 6. And we can cross over here, cross over here. Now, when I did this, if you notice, here's my first crossing, here's my second crossing, here's my third. No need to have the next one unless you're going to bridge it over. So the first one that completed everything is 6, right? And the last one that crosses over creates 8, the division of your 7th gate. Your nose. So we can Whoop. We can continue on. Doo, doo, doo. Zzz. Hold on a second. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Life's a lemon, right? Yeah, there's so many things I did not do. There's so many things I did not do, right? Okay, we're going to take a 5-minute break. How's everybody doing? I have to put a little bit of order in this because I will tell you something. If I was watching myself do this, I would say, my God, this avatar here needs a little bit of order. Order in the house. Yes, absolutely. So it is a numeric science where the numbers talk to each other. They tell stories. They align with each other to help understand the numbers themselves. Once we get through the numbers and the algorithms that we're living by every single day in this game, we can put them towards association. What is located where? What occupies what area space? And then we can see the names they put them. By understanding the alphabet itself and looking at the names, we can diligently and logically put things together on what the name is saying, where it's going, where it comes from, because we have the understanding of the geometrics of each one of the letters, each one of the numbers. Now, is this complete? Absolutely not. Will we continue on? Absolutely. Should this be in an Excel? Should it be in everybody's house? Absolutely. Should we all have a free ride at it? Absolutely. We all have a question that needs to be answered. I'm not going to do this alone. I can't. I can't know everything you all know, but you do. So if this was in every single household, you can use it for yourself. But wait a second. If this was in a game, and imagine you have a joystick in your hand that you hold onto it, and it can feel your honesty. It can feel whether you're nervous or not holding onto these joysticks. So when you start to learn about the game, it can feel your vibration. When you start to learn about the numbers, it knows whether or not you do through your own vibration. It'll tell you how you feel about it because of your change either in blood pressure or your change in your heartbeat. But this will be directly ingrained into the game. As you learn and understand the numbers, you will find and feel yourself. It'll come up on the screen, the happiness within inside you, or the anger or the frustration inside you, by trying or putting yourself out there to learn about the dynamics of the numbers themselves, whether any, and the thing is, it's ABC, whether it's in English or French, even in Latin. And if you say the word Latin, right, let me just show you this. The alchemy of the IT system coming in through this word. Give me a second. 3 times 29 equals to 87. 3 times 26 equals to 78. When you add up, hold on a second. When you add up 1 through 26, it equals to 351, right? The Heart of Electric Company. Why do I say that? The cube itself meets a 3.5. I'm washing my dishes. I need to wash my dishes before I leave, all right? So the heart, where am I? Yeah. So the 29 is when you bring in the leap year, right? When you have the bisextile year, April Fool's Day, which is the 91st day, which is 13 by 7 for 91, right? And 91 is your first 13 cards in the deck reaching the king. When you get 91, it's the word spirit. 9 and 1 is an assembly of what is 4 times 20 plus 11. The only way to get the 11 in the association of 91 is to associate it with 2. Since 1 between 2 equals to 3, we must add on the duality of the extremities of the Mars moons. The Animal House. Who gave us the word human? Whatever names they have given to whoever we are just the dynamics of the numbers themselves. Until we understand that, I believe. What I don't know is what you know. 1, 2, 3, ABC is what we know we can agree on. We have to find a happy plane what to agree on. I'm not looking for any arguments. I'm looking for a better understanding. Yes, so the IT system, the 29, so when you get 5 times 4, 5 plus 4 equals to 20 and 9 equals to 29. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 is that 5 and 4, and after the D and before the C is where it's created. So the communication came in, and what they did is they connected the lifeline of 17. 17 is 10 minus 7, where you take Libra, okay, and you take Capricorn, Capricorn 10. Okay, comes in with 7. Remember, 7 and 8, remember those two, right? 8 is at the equator. 9 only comes in when you come in. The alchemy, A through L equals to 78. You have 77 because you're going to use 7 of 8 windows, or AG. The G will be used, the 1 will be left over, like cutting the corner of your SIM card off, right? The 8, right, if you take a look, it's 2 and 7, 1 and 8. After that, on a dice cube, it's all duality. There's a 6 void and a 6 dot. There's a 5 void and a 5 dot. There's a 4 dot and a 4 void. Okay? And there's a 6 dot and a 6 void. It just so happens 9 times 5, right? 9 times 5 is 45 fox. 9 times 6 is 54. And outside of that is the male phallus. Did you know the Vajiji is number 54 and the phallus is the 63? And that the cube itself totals 117 and so do they? That the reverse alphabet of A and B is 324 and it says the word sex. And the reverse alphabet void is F, or the 6 dot to the void is FU and it says FUCX. 2727. Came for, are you here to have a ball? Well, it's a blast off. And so it was, my father said. Right? I know my father blasted off. How about your father? I guess your father blasted off too. How was your mother taking it? Right? How did your mother take it when your father blasted off? Are you a father yourself? Do you ever get the blast off? Right, where does that seed come from? Even to today, it's somewhere inside of me. That silver cord, that 17 that you see in that alchemy number, 7813, only the 3, okay, is a duality. But either you're playing the 3 part or the 7 part. The 7 part is the assembly of a 313 part. The 13, you assemble 6, 1, and 6 to assemble the 12 zodiac signs. The king is born. So I was using the word Italy here before. So the IT system, the alchemy, or the energy from the Vatican on the Jubilee, right? We're just going to get out of this, quit. And let me see the Jubilee here. So this piece over here, okay? These doors over here, it's 4 by 2 and 4 by 2, 8 and 8. And when you go, whoopee, and when you go and we switch these doors, this is what happens to it. General Electric Company. The electric company, when you take it, it says 137, which is 68, 168, and 6168 is picking up the 1 of the 7th gate. Your 7 and 5 is electric, your 57 is moon. So when we look at this design, right? So when we look at this design, it's split. It's this side and this side. When we first created, you see that diamond? We can create a building going out now, right, on each side. But besides that, I used up in my first design, I drew the line from the top. I took up 1, 2, 3 areas. And then I took up, just count this one box here. Don't count anything else, okay? But either this box here, right, or this box here. There's 2 different boxes. So when I did this, okay, I took up these 3, but the third one is in the second part, in the other door. So we went 1, 2, and this is either 3, 4, or we'll go 1, 2, 2, 1. We can do anything, but right now I'm just showing you what I did. And what I did is when I did this, I compassed 2 here. I went over 2 here, right? Because it was inside. This one becomes inside, broken up by that flux capacitor corner. And then here. So I used up this line. I had 6 and 2. And then when I did this one, I used up 6 and 2. 8. And when I was finished, I had 7 out of 8 used here. And I had 7 out of 8 used here. 88 constellations, power up the Christ, and power up the moons through this electric company set up. 88, 8 and 8 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7, 7 and 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5, and we connect with this setup over here. And this is down by the Vatican. So I call it the alchemy of the IT system of the flux capacitor, which is the Y letter or the earth letter or the split in the heart. So I call it Italy. Yeah, I'm going to see the dogs going into the town. Let everybody know on social media whether somebody's going to watch my apartment or not. Besides all my neighbors knowing me for the last 20 years, how are you, Vicious Tiger? I'm going to speak to my cat. You want a little bit of food? So listen, apparently, you know, in the Asian zodiac, you know, in which, do you know that somewhere online I saw that they were using pixels to cover up people sometimes. And I'm saying, pixels to cover up. Okay. Won't go any further than that. Whoopee. Hold on a second. What's that? Yeah, so when you do this background, what happened is I have 1 and 1 left over. I used 7 of 8 and 7 of 8 of 88 of 77, and it just says more or less the power of Christ electric company. The switching over to moons, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 8 and 6. The cat is 24, right? It's the letter C. 1 between 2 equals to 3. The dog is 26. God, dog, 26. Reverse of A is Z. Well, one between two is where the dog is, so the cat has to go between both houses. The dog is split up. There's two houses. This is the direct correlation. So what is the cat and the dog? 50 is also cat 24. And what is dog 26? What is 6 and 8? 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. And we bring communication in from this beautiful animal. Come on. Come on. No, you have to come up to eat. Come on. You have to come up and eat. I'm not putting it on the floor because I kick it all the time. There you go. I had to get the cat food off the floor because I keep kicking it. You want more space here? Is that good? Yeah, you can sit in there. Let me move out the water a bit. Right? And sometimes she likes to pop onto the table. I put the water here. She pops onto the table. Hey, you doing, Fred? You've been there a long time. I know I talk to you. You always talk back to me. What are you thinking, Fred? What are you thinking? Stop mumbling and... What, Fred? You're looking at the moon? You think it changed? You're looking at the Holy Ghost, right? I don't know about you, Scribbly. Climb up that high building. Binary code. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. But we have a reverse binary. It depends what you want to do with all the fish. None of this is a guess. There's no guess here. Well, I don't like what I did here. All of this is about 1 through 36. 1 through 36, 1 through 36. It's from the game of roulette. Flag of Britain. Two sides, splitting the heart with two eyes, putting the brain together with D500, and the brain is split at 250, Earth's brain, or Earth's brain. Oh yes, I didn't push my bed over, I forgot. That's the bear. I like to call him the bear. Right, 3 levels of this, right? 3, right? Squeeze, look, I'm standing up when I'm awake, and when I'm asleep. When I'm asleep, I go right down this way. I'm awake, it's that way, right? I'm petering out. It's almost time to leave. Bonsoir, Pascal. Comment ça va, toi? Bonsoir à tous. Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres qui parlent français? On sait que Zeus, il parle en grec aussi. So before we end this, I want to finish with this. So we take the Mars cube and we place it everywhere. And the results are 14, and the results are 14, and the result is 11, and the result is 17. So here you have K and Q. So I spoke before about how Q, okay, brings in G. And the reason for that is your association, one of the associations of A, B, C, D, or 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, is the lower part of what is connected between 5 and 6, 7, 8, and 9. So now we have 4, 1, 4. The M letter, which is valued at 1,000, brings the left hemisphere of 147 into the right hemisphere of 3, 6, and 9. And how does it do it? By connecting to 2, 5, and 8. Okay, here. So what happens is this is, hold on a second, is it 1 1/4? Okay. So what you do is you go 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. But the 64 obtains the 32 value. So here's what it is. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. My other thing I wanted to do was 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1. I want to see if I can do it that way. 5 and 2, 7. 4 and 7, 11. 1 and 1, and well, that's 11, but it looks like 2. Just want to see what that looks like. So this is 6, 9, and 12. I'm just looking for myself, but in the reality of what this is, I shouldn't have done what I just did. I'm just going to tell you what it is. Binary is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, which is reduced to 16 is equal to a 7, and 32 is equal to a 5. If you notice, there is no 3, 6, and 9 inside of this. And if you notice, your last two reduced to 7 and 5. That's where you bridge up. Your 7 is here. Your 5 is here. When you count 1 through 11, it equals to 66. Well, 66 joins here. Your 9 comes in over here. It becomes 7, 5, 5. This is 9. This is 8 and 66. So when you have 2 and 3 equals to 5, you have 5 and 4 equals to 9. When you have 6 and 3 equals to 9, you have 1 and 4 equals to 5. The male phallus coming in with AD. And then what you have next is you have 5-4 coming in with BC communication in the house AD. When you connect your 6-6 to your 8-9, we have our 5-9, knowing that 9 is between. So where is 6 and 8? Since it's a half area space, in games, you get 2 here. Here, you only get 1/6. You have to place this, and then you get back this. You get 1 and 1/6. This one over here, you get 40%. So I'm not sure what that marking is. 5.2 in that marking, because that's what the odds are in these things. The other one with this, where am I? We wanted to get 6 and 8. So what you're going to do with 6 and 8, it's 44, 33. It's 51 and 62. You remember the yo-yo-yo coming together? The next one is going to be, hold on a second. Hold on. Where was I with this? 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Yes. Here's your communication. 4 times 2, 4 plus 2. And here is your 5 and 3. So here's what I told you about the cat and the dog. So here's the dog. And here's the cat. When you reverse alphabet, it's 1 and it's 3. Wouldn't you say that's good for the bar mitzvah? But here, 2 and 6 is 8, and 2 and 4 is 6. So wouldn't that divide the gate, telling me the bar mitzvah divides the gate? This one ends up at 20, and that's at the gate. This one ends up at 14. 2015, the gate was done. This is TN, like in 10. This is your DNA at the gate, caught at the gate in the 7th gate, or in the 7th, or perhaps in the 7th inning stretch. So all of these are actually here. You want to go 4 and 4? We can go 4 and 4. We'll see 3 and 3. We can go 5 and 1. We'll get 6 and 2. We can go 4 and 2. You want to be a foreigner? You can be a foreigner. Now we'll have to listen to the songs of foreigner. We'll get 4 and we'll get 2. We'll get 5 and 3. So since we run the cycles of 7, 4, 1, I have to adjust everything for 7, 4, 1, which is also what is 16, 25, 34, and so on. What is also 13, 22, 31, and so on. Also what is 10 and 19 and 28. It's very special. The one is here in red, but here it's in yellow. And then it's in red again, and then it's in yellow. and then it comes back to red again. So are we talking about Aries in association to Capricorn? Is that what we're talking about here? Because it doesn't only happen there. It also happens here. That when that happens and we're connecting the lower area with the upper area, we have a double pane window. Is it double pane for Mars, singularity for Earth? Over here we don't. This is where 10 comes in. As well, we have the game of Rotas Opera Sator. And in Rotas Opera Sator, that's all they do. All the numbers are a total of 10 in every single line. Running the dimension. Right? For those who have seen this before, if you look really closely, what's going on, those books, the V for the wolf inside the book, the two moons, 1 between 2 equals to 3. The two moons of Mars, Phobos and Deimos. The story is the truth, and the truth is that story. So it's going to be 4:44. There's going to be 2 more minutes of this. I did want to finish what I was speaking about, the 7, 4, and 1 for now. I've got to go. I'm going to the dog. Don't have to nothing, but I am. So we run everything in this cycle. And this, when you move this cycle over, if I multiply it by 2, right? The 7 becomes the 14. The 4 becomes the 8. The 1 becomes the 2. This becomes 5, 8, 2. If I multiply it by 3, I end up with 21, 12, and 3, or 3, 3, 3. If I multiply it by 4, it's 28, 16, and 4. This is where Purple House comes in. Why? Because of the this 4 area here, right? The only way you can, hold on a second, I don't want to show it that way. 4 with 12 around it, 1 with 8 around it. That's the way it sets up. And then there's the Saturn, the different Saturn square that turns sideways. That's what we cycle. We run an 84-day cycle. In the leap year, okay, we end up jumping over this, right? This 84 days is usually on the 24th of March, right? 24th of March is this. So on April 1st is the Spirit Day, but now this ends up to be on the 23rd in a leap year. Why on the 23rd is it? We have to jump into Aries. 3 days into Aries for completion at 84. And we run all the cycles. Here is the 91st day except in a leap year. In a leap year, it falls in March. You're crowned in March at 313 on the 31st day of March. 313, the 13th sign jumps in at the 13th week, ends. Remember, the gap is the amount of time to get in and out of an area space. We spoke about the silver cord coming in here. That's the split house with the silver cord. We spoke about Scorpio and Capricorn, 8 and 10, the sun system. Why? The French say the 8 goes with the 10. The 8 also, okay, is the H. So if the H, okay, goes with the 10J, and the H is within 18, and the H reflects the S, and the H with 18 is inside the IR, creating this. And now you have RH in the negative zone. On a cube, there are going to be 16 in the bet position, 2 in the alphabet position. Here's the alphabet position. Why? It's in the second position, but when it cuts on the edge, and if you notice, there's no others. On here, okay, 12, take away 12 from 54. There's going to be 42. Take away 6. there's going to be 36. So you're going to have 36. You're going to have 4 on every single side. You're going to have 24 and 12 into the missing corners. 6, 7, 8. Just trying to see where they all are. Anyways, irreflective to what I'm talking about. Check out this word. 6th, 3rd, 3rd, 6th. This is the reverse alphabet into the male phallus. Seven, 7, 7, 7 from 9 and 5. It's an exact replica of this. Nothing begins until here and it ends here. And this is the word for the male phallus. Inside of that is the feminine. And the feminine will say 4, 5, 5, 4. So that is going to be D, W. Then it's going to be, hold on a second, I want to see what my extension is here. Yes, then it's going to be H, R. Did I get that right? Yes, I think I got that right. No, that can't be right. That's not right. Hold on a second. W, 23. I have to figure it out. I never looked on that side. I only kept it on one side. I never looked. Give me a second.